This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So far we had two demo sessions for this particular business analyst training. Okay. So on first day or on our first demo, we covered what are the topics that we are going to cover as part of this training. We covered some of the different topics like myths surrounding business analyst role. What are your career growth chances, certification opportunities, and then towards the end we had regular Q&A session for the business analyst. Then on our second demo, that was on Friday, 26th of January, we looked into slightly different topics. So how did this role of business analyst came into picture? What was the history behind that? And then what are some of the common roles and responsibilities that a business analyst performs on a day-to-day basis? And for those responsibilities, what could be the potential skill set that you require in order to fulfill those roles and responsibilities? Now today is the third session. Okay, third session in our demo series, and today we are going to cover some of the topics that we already set aside for our agenda. That is, how does this role of BA, business analyst, differs with the role of data analyst? Okay, what's the difference between the two? Then how is AI, artificial intelligence, changing the way a business analyst work? Is it making the role of a business analyst redundant? Is it that AIs will be doing the BA work? And then some of the common questions that people also have is around Scrum Master and Project Manager or the business analyst. Okay, which might be a better one. So we will look at these three topics in detail today on our third demo session. Before we get started, again a request that please make a note of this Harsha Trainings number. Okay, if you have any questions or queries further with respect to the business analyst training program, you can always reach out on this number. Okay, it's available on both WhatsApp and through regular phone calls as well. And even for the registration purposes also, not just for inquiries. So let me write it down over here: for inquiries plus registration. Okay, in case if you, and I'm sure you guys want to register, so for registration you can always reach out on this number again. So now let's get started. First topic for the day. Okay, what's this business analyst versus data analyst all about? Now people often get confused thinking that business analyst BA and data analyst DA are the same thing. Okay, they are doing the same set of roles, or they are kind of overlapping, so that's why they are the same thing. Okay, but then that is not the case. So let me, so I'll open up a blank diagram. Okay, so when we go through the training program, we'll be covering this particular tool as well. Okay, so we mentioned that we'll be going through Visio, Microsoft Visio or a similar tool. Okay, so we may be using some other tools as well. So we'll go in detail. We use this particular one. Let's use this one only. Okay, so let me give this as heading of business analyst. Okay, now before we get started, so this is an assumption so that we don't get confused. And I'll also like to clarify that this is not a comparison to say which role is better. Okay, so don't think that at the end of this discussion you'll get to know that whether BA is better or data analyst is better. A lot of it is mainly dependent on your interest side as well. So this is not a comparison to decide who is better, which role is better. We are not going to discuss the benefits or advantages in terms of monetary compensations as well. Okay, so that will also not be discussed, but we are majorly trying to focus on what is the type of work and how it differs. Okay, how the type of work differs. Okay, so let me add some text on this side, and then let me add some text over here as well. Okay, so this will cover my business analyst side, and this particular over here will try to cover the data analyst aspect, the corresponding side for the data analyst. Okay, so we'll start with the first point, like what is the key skill set that is needed. Okay, so there will be various points, but the first point is what is the skill set that is required when you start working as business analyst. Okay, so whenever anyone wants to start their work as business analyst, what is the typical type of day-to-day responsibility that they look for? So that is one thing we'll try to discover, their day-to-day work. Okay. Then number two is what tools or technologies one implement. Okay, that would be your second point. Other than day-to-day work, what tool and technology do you majorly use? So now let's first look at the tools and technology used. So as a business analyst, the primary tool that you may be using is a requirement management software, okay, where you may be entering your requirements, okay. This software could also be your MS Word, Microsoft Word, where you are simply writing down your requirements in a Word document, and then you may be storing this Word document in a network drive or some location, whatever organization has decided. So you can either write down your requirements in a Word document or in an Excel sheet as well. So it could be MS Excel as well, or you could be using, if your organization could be using a proper requirement management software like Confluence. But irrespective of whether it is Word, Excel, or a requirement management software, for me, that is just a tool. Okay, tool just enables us to do our work easily or not so easily. Okay, tool is not what tool does not define what type of work I do. Okay, for example, I'm meeting with stakeholders. So for meeting stakeholders, whether I use Zoom, whether I use GoTo, whether I use Microsoft Teams, I could use any collaboration software irrespective of technology. But irrespective of technology, my work does not change. It does not mean that if I go to one organization, I don't have to meet clients. If I go to another organization, I have to meet clients. Irrespective of organizations, irrespective of technologies, I have to meet with my clients because they are the ones who are going to give me the requirement on what needs to be accomplished. So we have tools related to requirement management. Okay. Then next is your collaboration tools, which could be Microsoft Teams, which could be Zoom, or which could be GoTo meetings or etc. Okay. Because nowadays we are mostly meeting people virtually. So you would have some collaboration tools as well that you will be majorly using. I'm not saying that other people in the IT industry don't use these tools, but they don't use it as extensively as a business analyst does. Okay. Then some tool to create flow charts. It could be again Microsoft's Visio, because normally most of the organizations they use MS Office. So all these softwares, what I'm saying, MS Word, Excel, Teams, they all are usually bundled under MS Office. Or we can also use the tool that I am currently using, that is draw.io, which is available for free. So we need some type of ability to be able to draw flowcharts as well. Okay. So okay. Now if we have to use the similar type of comparison over here as well, what is the different technologies, tools or technologies used? Remember, a data analyst, okay, primarily works on the set of data, okay, to try and make some decisions out of this data. So they require some tools to enhance their SQL related knowledge. Okay, what kind of how can they fetch data? So SQL is primarily used to fetch slash update data to the tables, define tables. Okay, so now they can internally use things like MySQL, or they can use Oracle SQL. There are just different bunch of tools that are available. Now on top of SQL, the second primary area where they work is, and I'm just talking about the primary areas of work, I'm not talking about in-depth comparison, is the data visualization, for which whatever data they fetch, whatever data you usually get, sometimes it does not make sense to just have the data presented. Sometimes it will be much more appealing if you can create a flow chart out. Sorry, if you can create a bar graph out of data, a line chart, a pie chart, either a chart or a graph. If it can be drawn from the data, somehow it makes your data look much more appealing. It makes your data much more attractive. So data visualization is that technique. Okay. So where you can use things like Tableau, Power BI, okay, to make your data much more appealing or attractive. Okay, so that's on the technology part for the business analyst or the data analyst. Now comes the day-to-day work. Okay. Now starting with data analyst, it is, I would say, little bit technical in nature. So when I say technical in nature, actually both business analyst or data analyst, they are technical part of the job. Okay, but technical in nature, I would say it is little bit of coding in nature. Okay, there is not heavy coding involved. You don't have to code for a lot of things. For example, data visualization part is relatively lesser code. Okay, on data visualization, it will be majorly you have to know the functionalities, you have to know which options are available where, and what options can be used to achieve what type of work. Okay, so there is a relatively lesser coding in data visualization, but when it comes to SQL, you need to know the syntax, you need to know how to write queries. Okay, so there is relatively lesser coding, but there is coding. Whereas when it is about business analyst, it's a non-coding role. It's a non-coding role primarily. Okay, it does not mean that you, as a business analyst, you cannot learn to code or you cannot learn the data analyst parts at all. You can certainly learn anything that you want. What should be the primary driving factor is your interest. But business analyst is majorly a non-coding role. Okay, you are not supposed to write a code for achieving any specific objective as such. But suppose if you want to automate something as a business analyst, there is some type of work that you do on a daily basis. Maybe you update a document, you add a dot, you remove a dot from a document on daily basis. Now you are tired of doing this manual intervention thing, so you can certainly go back and learn some coding language to automate your work. But that is the different part. You're primarily working on a profile that is a non-coding role. Why it is non-coding? Because your focus is on building rapport with the client. Your focus is on client management. Okay, so when we say client management, we get into things like you have constant touch or meetings with the client. You try to understand what they have to say, what kind of feedback they are trying to share for the team, what kind of work they want us to do. Okay, so you are primarily involved in client management activities. These client management activities could range from meeting with simple things like meeting with clients to get requirements, to meeting with clients to take feedback as well. Okay, you do all these things so that you can build a good rapport with the client. You are building a good rapport with the client so that you can extract more work or get more work out of the client. Okay, so that we don't have to worry about finding new clients every time. Okay, now when it is about data analyst, you do not worry about building rapport with client. Okay, why? You will have a business analyst who will tell you what type of chart or what type of graph or what type of visualization needs to be done, what type of data to be extracted. So a business analyst will give you the requirements for you to create your create your data fetch. or the data visualization part. Okay, because business analyst is the one who is interacting with the client. Okay, data analyst is not the one who is interacting with the client. Now, because data analyst is often not a time consuming role. Okay, there could be chances that business analyst could be dealing with multiple data analysts as well. Okay, or one business analyst or one data analyst will be working on multiple projects simultaneously. Okay, so as a data analyst you are actually not worried, and that is the reason why most of the data analysts are not exposed directly to the client. Why? Because if you are exposing a data analyst directly to the client, what happens is a data analyst will only be worried about what type of data I need to fetch, what type of visualization you want me to perform. Do you want me to run this on a daily basis? Do you want me to run this on a weekly basis? They will be majorly worried about what kind of task they have to perform. Okay, again, data analyst will be majorly concerned about what type of task they have to work on. Okay, whereas when it comes to business analyst primarily role and responsibility itself is maintain client management, building rapport with the client. Okay, so what they will do is they will try to build they will use their interpersonal skills, communication skills to get to talk to client, get requirements from the client. Okay, and then share the requirements with the team. Okay, that team could include your data analyst as well. Now you see the difference. When you are working as a data analyst, you are not worried, you are majorly worried about what work I need to do, and that my work should be good enough so that everyone likes my work. Okay, your primary focus, or you are majorly concerned about your work. You are not focused or concerned about building relationships with the client. As a business analyst, my primary work could be gathering requirement, but at the same time I am also concerned about building rapport with the client. Okay, on a day to day basis a business analyst is a non coding role, that is focusing on client management and building relationships with the client, that focuses on getting requirements and sharing requirements with the team. A data analyst is a slightly coding specific nature. I will not say it's a coding heavy role, but it is relatively, there is some amount of code that you need to do, because as a data analyst you may be getting your requirements from a business analyst, so you don't have to worry about building rapport with the client. But in case if a data analyst is directly exposed to a client, there is no business analyst in between, then also what majorly happens is a data analyst is majorly worried or focused about what kind of work I need to complete. And that is where most of the organizations they try to include a business analyst role in between, because they want their business analyst to interact with the client so that they can maintain relationships and they can retain businesses. Okay, it is difficult to convince some new person to give me your IT work. Every time if I go to 10 clients, chances are out of 10 clients only one may give me their IT work. So it is difficult to find new clients or convince them. But if you are able to find clients, it you should put in every effort to retain those clients. Okay, so that they don't go to another IT company. So that is where the business analyst plays a crucial role, because they are helping build maintain relationships. So they're in a way ensuring that the client does not run away. Okay, they are not doing uh, I mean supernatural things like they are not taking client for lunch dinner, they are not arranging for parties for client. Those type of things are not happening. Okay, when I say building rapport or relationship, I don't mean building personal rapport or relationship. Okay, that is not part of a business analyst profile. When I say building relationship or rapport, you are ensuring that you are hearing the client. Okay, sometimes building rapport could be as simple as just listening to the other person. Okay, when other person thinks that they are being heard, they are being given enough chance to speak, then normally feel that they are giving you, they are naturally giving you their more attention. You obviously feel connected to them. Okay, so don't think that when I say building rapport, that means you have to take them out for lunch dinner parties, attend their personal ceremonies and those type of things. No, that's a different thing. But building rapport or relationship could be as simple as, and at the same time difficult, because listening is one of the difficult skills. So, though it may sound simple that you have to listen to them, they should feel empowered, they should feel that they are being heard, and they should also feel that whatever point they are making out, those points are making sense to you guys. Okay, so that is what is your building rapport with the client. Now, a lot of time people think that because this is a business analyst training, so we'll be talking about Power BI as well. So that's not a primary responsibility for a business analyst to be known about these data visualization skills. But like I said, the world is slightly moving towards T-shaped skills. Okay, so T-shaped skill is what? The world is moving towards now T-shaped skills. So what is this T-shaped skill? If you look at the letter T, okay, it has a horizontal bar, it has a vertical bar. Okay, so the horizontal bar in T, it has a horizontal line or a horizontal bar, it has a vertical line or a vertical bar. Okay, so the horizontal line depicts number of skills you have. Okay, and the vertical bar represent expertise within those skills. Okay, so I can know coding, I can know business analyst, I can know QA or testing, and I can know project management skills. I can know means these are the basic information I have for different skill sets. Okay, but does that make me an expert coder? Does that make me an expert QA or an expert BA? Okay, just because I know multiple technologies or multiple skills does not make me an expert. Okay, so T-shaped skills are you work on, you have knowledge of multiple skills, but then there should be at least one skill. So that vertical line or that vertical bar tells me there should be at least one skill where I should be an expert. Okay, in my case I decided to build my expertise on business analyst. Okay, I started my career as a developer, so I can say I had, or at least I can still say I have development skills. In between I worked as a QA as well, and then for last 7 8 years primarily as a business analyst. Okay, so nowadays it's time for these T-shaped skills, that you should know, you should have knowledge of multiple skills, but there should be at least one skill where you are an expert. Okay, so you can know about data visualization or SQL, but there should be at least one skill. It could be, again, up to your choice. I'm not saying you have to be a business analyst only, but then if you choose to be a business analyst, you should try and try and become an expert in that area. Again, expertise is something that you acquire over time and is not something that happens overnight. Now let's move on to our next topic. But before we go over there, uh, just a quick check if you guys have any questions. Okay, I would assume I'll take silence as no question and then we'll move forward. Now, how is this AI actually impacting our work? So, just to give you guys a brief background, it's not just a business analyst, okay? So, AI is not just impacting BA related work, okay? But in fact, it is impacting all domains that we work in, okay? Whether you work as a developer, as a QA, or even AI is actually helping you write down your or draft your emails as well, okay? So with the advent of multiple easy to access technology, things like chat GPT, okay, you are able to easily access. Why do I say easy access? Because it is available for free. Okay, what does easy access means? Something that is available for free to me, that offers an easy access. Suppose if I have to pay for it, if I have to pay for any technology to use, then chances are that it is not easily accessible. Okay, so because nowadays technology has been developed in such a fashion or in such a manner, and we looked at in our demo too as well, that how technology has evolved over time. Okay, so initially internet was not a normal thing. Okay, having an internet connection, and that too having a high speed internet connection, was definitely not a normal thing. Then what happened is, over time technology has become, or technology became much more accessible. So now you not only have access to high speed internet, but you also have access to high speed internet at a cheaper rate. Okay, so remember days when we were having 2G. Even 2G would be expensive. And when the shift happened from 2G to 3G, even in those cases 3G was expensive. That accessing internet meant that only when we get home, only when we get to office where we have dedicated broadband connection, then only we will access internet. Okay, accessing internet over mobile phone was something that we did seldom. Okay, we will ensure that only if it is absolutely necessary, urgent, critical, then only you use mobile to browse internet, or you use your mobile data. But nowadays it's not the case. Okay, nowadays technology has made sure, and cheaper technology has made sure that everyone has access to mobile internet. Same way, when chat gpt or similar items from Google, Microsoft were created, everyone started into using these items or pieces together. Okay, now what exactly are these chat gpt or these items doing? So you can ask them questions. Okay, you ask them any question, any type of question that you have in your mind, and that what happens is they will give you a response. Okay, I'm not going in details of how they work, what is the model behind chat gpt and other things, but just trying to give you a brief idea of how they work. You ask them a question, they'll give you a response. Now this is secondary thing, whether that response is right or wrong. Okay, So chat gpt also has two parts. There is a free version that we all can use, there is a paid version. They often say that paid version has much more higher accuracy in terms of a response. Free version can make some mistakes, but then eventually who will decide they have made a mistake? Okay, so people think that if I ask chat gpt, they will capture requirements for me. So that's not going to happen, guys. Okay, now what can certainly happen is you can ask chat gpt, let's say I have a requirement. Okay, let's say I have a requirement like build a digital payment feature for the e-commerce application. Suppose I'm trying to build an e-commerce application. In that e-commerce application, suppose all things are done. Okay, I have uh, I have built I have built the website in the e-commerce application. Okay, I have added items to the cart and everything is complete, but I don't have payment feature. So suppose I want to build this payment feature. Now here looking at this statement, okay, it does not look good to me. That okay, I need to build a digital payment feature. I'll talk to client to gather the detailed requirements, but then this statement does not look good. It does not look formal enough. Okay, so maybe I can give this statement to chat gpt and ask, can you rephrase or paraphrase the below statement? Okay, and maybe chat gpt will give me better alternatives, that how you can rephrase or paraphrase this statement into better sounding statements. Okay, so that's what chat gpt can do. Okay, it can give you better alternatives, but remember, chat gpt or the ai is not advanced enough to gather requirements for you. Okay, any type of AI tool cannot go to client, meet with client, and then start making notes or start gathering requirements with the client. Any type of AI tool cannot replace your job of building rapport with the client. Okay, so AI tool can help you do your work effectively, but AI tool as of now, I'll not say in future, but as of now, AI tool cannot replace your work. Okay, especially I'm talking about business analyst. AI tool cannot go and meet with clients. AI tool cannot go and build rapport with the client. AI tool cannot go and start drafting your requirements. Now obviously when you met with client and you have come up with certain statements, but you want better alternative, you want to write those statements in a more formal way, you can certainly use chat gpt. You know, you'll be surprised that even for writing resignation mails, I saw some of my colleagues use chat gpt. That hey chat gpt, I want to resign from my company, but I want to resign on a good note. Okay, I want to draft a formal resignation mail, help me draft one. Chat gpt gave them a response on it. Okay, a big formal email. Okay, so that's how people are using chat gpt or other relative generative ais. Okay, so they fall under the category of generative ais to better do their work effectively. Okay, AI is not replacing what business analysts are doing. AI is only aiding. Okay, it is adding more value to the work. Okay, suppose if you are someone who is not good in building statements, but you have the idea, you met with client, you got all the information, you have all information with you, but now the task is to put that information in the form of a in a form of a formal statement. Maybe you can use chat gpt to do that. But always be careful whenever you are talking to chat gpt or any ai tool. Okay, be cognizant about your organization data sharing policies. Okay, just because chat gpt or other ai tools are fun to use, easy to use, does not mean that you share your entire data with them. Okay, it may lead to data breach of contract. So ensure that you give regular questions, normal questions that does not include any personal or sensitive data only to this AI tools. So AI tools, whenever you are asking them question, just go through your question at least 4 or 5 times to ensure that you are not including any type of personal data, personal content, or sensitive data in it. Okay, no one wants that they have shared some personal data with these AI tools, and now because they have shared personal data, so now their job is at risk. Okay, so because AI tools are becoming the new norms, people are using AI tools to effectively do their job. So there is no harm in adopting AI. There is no harm in learning how AI can help you do your work effectively. There is no harm even in asking for support from AI. But what you have to be mindful about is what kind of data do you share. You should not share any personal, private, sensitive data on the AI tools. It may lead to breach of contract with your organization and you could be fired for it. Okay, that is one thing. Number two, there is no guarantee that these AI tools are giving you 100% perfect response. Okay, so review the response that you receive. Review it multiple times if possible to ensure that the response matches your criteria. Okay, and that is where I say that people should build, again we get back to our t-shaped skills. People should build expertise on specific skill set, then only you will be evaluate. Okay, simply asking a question that, hey chat gpt, give me help me write down my requirements, they will give you hundreds of responses. Whether those responses are valid or not, who is going to evaluate? So you should have some basic knowledge, skill set to be able to evaluate. So use of ai is good. Okay, as it helps you do your work effectively, but there should be some caution. Okay, so word of caution when using ai, not every response that is generated by the ai tool is perfect or error free. So evaluate the responses carefully. Before we evaluate responses, while asking question, ensure that there is no sensitive, private, you can call it anything, personal or confidential. There is no private, personal, confidential data being shared with the tool. Okay, so some people what they do is, suppose if they are talking to their client, so they are sharing all that information also, that I met with client ABC from Amazon and they have given me below requirements. So help me rephrase or paraphrase the below requirements into more formal statements. Okay. Now what happened is you exposed the company name that you are working with, the client's company name, you expose the client name also. Okay, so we don't understand the security aspects of the ai tool. what if someone gets access to these kind of chats? Okay, they will be able to know that this person is directly working with Amazon, and in Amazon they are directly working with this person. Okay, so we should be just mindful or careful about not sharing private, personal, or confidential information whenever we are asking questions to the tool. Okay, that is why I am saying while asking questions, go through it multiple times, that you are not sharing any information. When you receive response, evaluate the responses also carefully. Use AI tool to help do your work effectively. Okay, don't think that I can use AI tool to do my job. Okay, we are still not in that stage where AI can do your job. If AI can do your job, then remember there will not be any business analyst job for you. So use AI only to help you do your job effectively. That is some of the tasks that you can free up. You can certainly use AI to learn. Let's say if there is a new tool that you want to learn, if you want to learn about any specific concept, any specific theory, you can definitely use AI to learn about it. Now let's look at the last part, uh, that is relatively newer ones where people have started asking, because both are into non-coding role. Scrum Master is also a non-coding role. A business analyst is also a non-coding role. So then people often ask that then why Scrum Master? Why not Scrum Master? Why business analyst only? Okay, if both are non-coding role, if I don't have to worry about learning coding, then why not Scrum Master or a project manager? Why only a business analyst? But before we even get there, any questions so far, guys? Anything you want to ask at this
Uh,
point?
Hello, Manoj here. I have one query regarding the requirement of business analyst. The requirement is communication and the problem solving should have there, and the communication and some of knowledge on tools, and what else? That is the requirement of business analyst.
Yes, so there are plenty of things. So these are the major things, like you meet with clients. So your regular meetings that happen with client, when you are meeting with client, you want to extract information out of the client. Okay, sometimes it may be straightforward, sometimes it may not be as straightforward. Sometimes you have to meet multiple times with the client to get the information. Once you get
Okay,
the information, then you have to document that information. Once you have
okay,
documented the information, you review that document with client and your development team both.
okay,
Now, as per the requirement, we also have to work on finding a solution. Okay, so
okay.
doesn't
What
mean
the
that I need
outcome?
coding.
Is it outcome would be help to in a project for high efficiency and high productivity that will help for business analyst?
High efficiency or high productivity is required for every individual that is part of the project, whether it is BA, whether it is
Mhm.
developer, whether it is QA. Okay, so everyone
Okay,
has different tools to use to improve their productivity. For example, as a business analyst, when you are using MS Teams or Zoom or GoTo, we can record these sessions with client. Okay, so that we don't
okay,
have to go back to client every time. We can review the recordings. If we go through
okay,
the recordings, maybe we'll get lot of information.
okay, okay. And my one more question, If in that situation, if business analyst is not have there, so can someone can record on that situation. So, like what it will help to the project as a business analyst.
Definitely, if there is any backup person for your role, they can definitely attend meeting and they can record these sessions. But ideally, it is always good to have you personally over there. It's not just about recording actually. When you are present live in a session, you get the first hand information. Okay. Now, if you are not able to remember or recollect what was discussed in the session, then you can definitely refer back to recordings. But recordings should not be considered as the primary source that anyone can listen to recording and then gather requirement. Because what happens, see for example now, because we are interacting live, so what happens? You have a question, you directly ask me. I respond to your question. But if you are
Hmm.
listening to a recording, what will happen? You will just listen to the recording. If you get any question, you will have to wait for the next session. You will either write an email to me that I was listening to recording, I have so and so question, or you will wait for the next session to happen. If you are waiting for next session or if you are writing email, what happens is there is waste of time. My productivity is decreased. Whereas
Okay.
in the
Okay.
meeting, I can directly ask. So my time is saved.
Yes. Got it. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Any other question, guys? Okay, so this is a smaller topic. Like I said, both Scrum Master, Business Analyst are non-coding role. So why Business Analyst and why not Scrum Master project? So remember, guys, in the world of IT, we have technical roles. Okay, technical roles. What we also call them in IT are, these are the people who are generating revenue for you. Okay, for their work only, client is paying you the money. So under technical roles, you majorly have business analyst. Okay, then let's say you have a developer who is writing the code, and you have a QA person. QA is quality analyst who is doing the testing work. Okay, quality analyst is doing the testing related work. Now these three people, they fall under the technical role category. Okay, why technical? Because business analyst is writing the requirements. Using those requirements, developer is writing the code. Okay, whatever code the developer has written, QA or quality analyst is ensuring or testing that code. Okay, so they are doing the testing for that code. So these three people, they fall into the technical command category. Then we have non-technical role, where you majorly fall, where you have people like scrum master, project manager. Okay, that what majorly they are trying to do is, they are majorly trying to assess the health of the project. Okay, whatever business analyst is doing, is business analyst doing their work effectively? Suppose if business analyst had to write up requirements in 1 week, is requirement completed in 1 week? Is developer doing their work effectively? Suppose if developer had to do their work in 1 week, did they complete their work in 1 week? And similarly for QA also. So they're mainly responsible for tracking the progress of the project, ensuring that the project remains in a healthy state. So they are majorly in a non-technical role. Though both Scrum Master and Business Analyst are non-coding, but Business Analyst falls into technical category. Why? Because Business Analyst is helping us write down requirements. Those requirements help you build a software. Okay. A Scrum Master is managing the health of the project. Now that is where the second key difference comes in. Okay. Whenever, in the cases of recession, in the cases of slowdowns, okay, whenever businesses don't have enough money to spend, that's a situation for a slowdown. When businesses want to cut down on employees, usually what they do is they first start cutting down on non-technical roles. Why? Because these non-technical roles are not generating revenue. Okay. I can ask my business analyst from my personal experience during COVID. I was asked to personally lead the team, okay, because our project manager was fired during COVID. So they said that we don't want a specific project manager assessing the health of the project. My business analyst can overtake those responsibilities. So whenever organizations go through tough times, what they usually do is they can trim down or cut down people from the non-technical roles. So that is why I always suggest freshers or even people within organizations that they should always look for roles within technical domain only. Okay, it's your safer bet. Now again, you may have interest in Scrum Master or Project Manager, that's a different thing. Okay, and not every time there will be slowdown or recession. It will happen once in a while, but whenever that happens, there could be some problems. So it is always good if you don't have any particular inclination towards Scrum Master or Project Manager roles. If you are not interested as such, then I always suggest people to stick to technical roles, that is business analyst, developer, or QA. Your technical roles have good chances of giving you next job. Your technical roles also have good chances of growth as well. Non-technical roles, they're good unless there is a recession or slowdown. Okay, that's where the non-technical people struggle more. So though both are non-coding, but they fall into different categories. One falls under technical, one falls under non-technical. And with it is always good, as the IT progresses or advances in coming days, it is always good to be part of the technical domain. Okay, it is always good to be part of technical domain, whether you work as developer, whether you work as data engineer, data science, data analyst, or whether you work as business analyst, or whether you work as QA. It is always good to be part of the technical domain. Any other question, guys? Okay, if no questions, we can end our discussion for today. This was our third demo session. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this 3 days demo series.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Manoj.
Hello. Yes. Actually, each Scrum Master will facilitation of meeting something else like that.
Yes, Scrum Master will definitely do that. They will be facilitating, they will be the facilitator of different meetings. But then there's facilitator because
Oh,
they're tracking the health of the project. They want to hear from everyone what updates everyone has, so that they can assess the health of the project, whether project is on track, off track, any issues, concerns, roadblocks.
and also can track the report of like daily quality report and daily other issues have like how many issues are there, like if there is a new project, pilot phase project, so if issues are 100 right now today, and next month or next week it should be decreased issues, and here business analyst will be decrease the issues, solve the problem likewise
No,
day
no.
wise day. Or
So business analyst is primarily focusing on their technical part, which
develop.
is
Okay, okay,
gathering requirements for my development team. Whether you have 100 issues today, or next week whether that 100 is reduced to 90, or whether that 100 has become 150. Okay,
okay,
that
okay,
that is a business analyst will not track it. But if you require business analyst help to resolve issues out of 100 issues, if you need business analyst help for 50 issues, then business analyst will definitely provide inputs,
okay,
but they are not going to track it. Tracking is a responsibility that lies with scrum master or project manager, that they are mainly worried about numbers. I have 100 issues today, tomorrow it should become 95.
yes, okay, okay, got it, thank you.
So Rahul, Piyush here. This generating velocity chart and other these all comes under the role of BA or Scrum Master.
That is scrum master's responsibility. So nowadays all the tools that we have, for example Jira, you can set up your dashboards, so that every day these reports like velocity, sprint burn down or sprint burn up charts, they are captured automatically, or they're created automatically.
Okay. So we will be covering as a part of our course structure, or it is not a part of BA.
It is not part of BA, but in course we will definitely cover what is velocity, because assuming that there is a tough time going ahead, and suppose if anyone asks you to create velocity, even though you are a BA, but if someone asks, then you should know what velocity is, and then how to plot velocity.
Thank
So
you.
that we will be covering as part of this course.
Thank you.
Hello. Is this a independent role? Business analyst role is an independent role, or it's a teamwork? They work on your team.
So I'll say like this: you are an independent leader. Okay, so you work independently, like you mainly go to client meetings, majorly go alone, but eventually you need to get the work done by your development team, that is developer and QA. So you work with them to communicate your requirements, to communicate what is needed, to ensure that developer and QA are working their job effectively. So even though you guys are working in different space, like you are working in gathering requirements, developer is working on writing code, okay, but you are working together as a team. It won't be like five developers writing the code or five BA trying to gather the same requirement. Different members, but trying to work cohesively as one team. Okay, so we don't consider developers as separate team, QA as separate team, because we all are trying to work together to build the common software. Okay, guys. Any other question, or did I answer your question, Kamla?
Yes, thank you.
Sure. So, any other final question, guys? Okay, if no questions, do make a note of this number that I mentioned at the top. Okay. For any inquiries or registration purposes, definitely reach out to Harsha Trainings on this point, on this number. They will help you with next steps. Thank you everyone for your time.